All right. Here we go. Here we go. We are live for the market open. And it is a very interesting Friday in the world of the stock market. The reason it's a very interesting Friday is because it looks like Tesla, beloved Tesla, is going to be testing and flirting. It's going to be flirting with the double digits today. It's going to be flirting with double. It's so cold that I had to put on my scarf because Tesla's stock price is making me shiver, which is the word of the day. The word of the day is shiver. That's the word of the day, shiver. Because every Tesla shareholder, including myself, should be shivering at this stock price. That's why we're shivering. Nurka Duke. Hello, Amit. Can you say hi? Hello, Nurka Duke. I hope you are not shivering. Mario, Damien, Zo Cold, Captain Chuck, Alvarado, Uriel, Nathan, Felicia. I knew a scarf was Glitch Life. Morning, Chamath. How are you doing today? I'm doing great because Chamath probably sold out of all his positions after retail's left holding the bag. So if I'm Chamath, I'm doing great. The pleb wages are raising as much. Rejoice. These people are scum. Oh my goodness. What a freaking market. What's going on? Need a wife to warm you up. That's true. Need me some nice warm wife. Okay, this has been an insane pre-market. It's looking, let's pull up Webull, like Tesla's going under 100. I woke up this morning and I looked at the Robinhood. I saw Tesla at 103 and I was like, this isn't cool because my mom bought Tesla at 295. And that's, I'm trying to look like a tech CEO. And that's not nice to my mom, man. She really thought Elon had a plan. She really thought Elon was going to be a preserver of her capital. She really thought Elon wasn't going to do this nonsense political BS on Twitter, which, by the way, he tweeted about yesterday. He had a poll, said, should I stop talking about politics? And I think he lost. Everyone said yes. So obviously he knows that stuff is not helping the stock. And granted, I don't think it's the thing that's like declining the stock. I think the demand issues and China problems are hurting it. Tesla slashed prices in China yesterday, which is also another reason why the stock is down. There's going to be lower margins. There's going to be more competition. Is that a signal and a precedence for what's going to happen in the United States? Because if that happens in the United States, then obviously margins are going to decrease. Now, if you're a Tesla long-term shareholder, you don't care about margins. You care about Tesla's ability to sell cars because the more cars they get on the road, the more chance they have for FSD to be improved and robo-taxis. But nonetheless, that's still not a good sign. Let me just tweet this out real quick. Live market open. Tesla stock has me shivering. I found this scarf today, and I think the last time I wore it was underneath a hat in my closet. And you guys have seen how messy my closet is. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this scarf. I haven't worn this scarf probably since last January. So I'm so happy that I found this scarf. But I found the scarf on a day where I needed it because it's so cold at Tesla 102 pre-market down 6.7%. 6.7%. Amit Jobs is the Steve Jobs look working. Yo, maybe that's my thing. Instead of turtlenecks, maybe scarves. Scarves are my thing. Maybe that's my thing. Cringe on 10. That's okay, AJ, because Tesla stock price also has me a bit cringe. Your mom needs to continue to DCA into Tesla. No, my mom does not need to DCA into Tesla. My mom needs to stop trusting white South African men that say they're going to take their company to the moon and instead buy Twitter and don't do what they need to do. I'm just kidding, but still, it kind of sucks. If Tesla sells fewer and fewer cars, then FSD will come farther and farther away. Yeah, so that's why they have to get negative margins because they'd rather sell the cars than do anything else. TJ, what's up? DCA and averaging down are not the same thing. Sounds like to me like she needs to average down. Bro, honestly, she bought way too much at 295. She was like, "Oh, Tesla always goes back up." It's like, no, bro, that's not happening. He's an African American. Have some respect. Of course, it's colder without your beard. Yeah, that's true. Without my beard, I've been very, very, very cold. I've been very, very, very cold. S&P at 3. S&P is look at this. The S&P is at 382. S&P is at 382. Tesla down 6%. I mean, this is insane, man. Tesla is supposed to be one of those stocks that's just like. So the question is, do I buy under 100? Which I've been saying I was going to do. I don't know. I think I'll probably buy at least 2 shares today. If it's under 100, I know that's not a lot, but I'll dip my feet in there and then we'll see. I mean, I'm not in the camp of those people. By the way, NVIDIA 143. That say Tesla to 60. I'm not in that camp. I think Tesla at 60. Hold on, let's go to Tesla. That would be COVID, right? That would be right before COVID. Max 2020. Hold on, 2020 we were at. Okay, so March 2020 we were at $34. That was Tesla. March 2020. March 2020 $30, and then so 60 was June 2020, and then we got to 270 around 2021. So if we get down to 60, which I've heard people have been saying, that would be similar to levels of June 2020. Right now we're at levels of November 2020, roundabout. Last time Tesla was $90 was, let's go, was right here, October 2020. So if we do hit 99, 98 today, we're around about that price. Meta is up in the pre-market, 128. AMD is up in the pre-market. NVIDIA is up in the pre-market. Coca-Cola, Pepsi up in the pre-market. SoFi up a nice percent in the pre-market. Uber up in the pre-market. Spotify up in the pre-market. Adobe up in the pre-market. Roblox up in the pre-market. Arc up in the pre-market. Tesla, the only one I think that's down in the pre-market. I mean, Alibaba's down. No, Alibaba's up in the pre-market, 0.13%. Everybody's up in the pre except Tesla, my Esla. You look like a prince today. Thank you, Miyoko. I need to be a prince because, first of all, this shirt came in from H&M. This shirt fits me so well. I love this shirt. It was nice. I got it over the holidays. It was pretty cheap. So it's a nice little. I've decided every day I'm going to wear a white shirt with pants because it takes the stress out of figuring out what to wear in the morning. But I guess I will now have to include that to be a scarf, a white shirt, and pants. Let's see where we go from there. SPY rally coming close to 400, then dump in my bound. My crystal ball prediction, this is not a reversal. Yeah, Gabe, I mean, I could imagine a SPY rally coming and then a massive. If a SPY rally happens, I think the market will be so suspect that like there is no other way to go other than for it to down. Because then you would have to imagine, is the rally going to continue? And the rally is not continuing to like 450. Like that's just not happening. TRK, thanks for being here. I brought at these prices 2 years ago. It was quite the ride with the S&P inclusion. I remember the S&P inclusion. I was there. I was buying a little bit of Tesla when that was happening. What, you normally do not wear pants? No, I wear sweatpants. That's what so when I mean pants, I mean like slacks. I usually wear sweatpants. I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I just always wear that. Check Neo and Xpeng emit. Let's check that out right now. Neo, how's Neo been doing? Neo's at 1086. Neo's been stuck in this range for a while. And then Xpeng is at 1190. What was the max on Xpeng? I actually never looked at this stock too much. 74. Wow. This bad boy was at 74 at one point. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, BYD is not public, right? Am I wrong on this? Or is it, yeah, I don't think they're, let me know if I'm wrong. I don't think they're public. I might be wrong on that. But BYD has absolutely been crushing it in China. So that's why Tesla had to, slash the prices. They had to compete in China, which you can't blame them for. But goodness, I mean, this now the question is, who's going to be buying under 100? All right, like what institutions come in and save the stock? Does Ross Gerber finally decide that this is too cheap? It's going to be trading at less than 20 times 2023 earnings on a forward PE basis. If it falls below 100, I believe it's going to be like a 19 or something, or 19.5, which is that's going to be ridiculous for a company that's growing 30-35% year over year. There's no other big tech stock doing this. And so at this point, it kind of feels like one of those moments where in 2019, Tesla, was just being destroyed by the media, and it was a lot of FUD, and ultimately they ended up growing. But I think the demand question and the competition question is legitimate. I think any Tesla shareholder that says it's not legitimate is clouding themselves. This is very important to think about. Is it a long-term issue? I don't know. Is it a short-term issue? Absolutely. Does that short-term issue present a buying opportunity? Potentially. All right, November 30th, January 6th, 2023. I hope everyone is having a great day. We are 6 days into January, brand new year. The stock market is open. Wake your ass up. Tesla is down 7.3% in less than 20 seconds. 102.64. We're going to keep a big eye on Tesla. We're going to see how far it falls and if we can get it down under 100. And if it gets under 100, we might see some buys start to happen because people might say that's starting to be ridiculous. Palantir at 632. Palantir was at CES. They unveiled SkyKit. Shyam Sankar did a little bit of a talk. I'll probably be talking about that later. Maybe I'll show a little bit of that video. But Shyam Sankar was talking about how Palantir is the cardiovascular operating system for the enterprise. So hopefully people liked some of that talk. Wake your ass up. That's what we're doing. I saw you say a 2-week rally, but I'll take your lift and shift if that's what you really said. I think you're talking to Gabe. Wait for sales data, margin data. Why can't y'all wait for data? Stop with this PE nonsense. PE is backward looking. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It's still one metric, I guess, that's valuable. Also, jobs data came out. U.S. Unemployment dropped to 3.5%, I believe, which is not good for the Fed. They wanted unemployment to go up. They want more people to be unemployed for this recession thing to happen so they can take the Band-Aid off. So that's something that the Fed is dealing with. Toyota at 136, Coinbase at 32. Toby Lucht, the CEO of Shopify, has been buying a crap ton of Coinbase. I'll show the screenshot in a little bit. And he's been buying a ton of Coinbase, and I believe he's on the board of Coinbase now as well. So that's probably the reason he's been buying a lot of Coinbase. I would say Coinbase is one of those companies that is relatively undervalued, at least in this market, given if you think crypto is going to be around for a while and what company is going to be left actually making sure crypto is reasonably sold. It would probably be Coinbase. So Coinbase is there. Snowflake at 121. Snowflake, our good friend Snowflake, for some reason has fallen off a freaking cliff over the past, 3 months? Where do we have Snowflake? Yeah, it was a nice 130 or 140 at one point. And now let me do 6 months on this. There we go. It's 205 in August. It was 166 in November, and it was 154 just 15 days ago, and now it's at 120. So for those who own Snowflake, well, your stock has fallen, just like a lot of other stocks have fallen. Amit, where are you based in? I'm in New Jersey. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in New Jersey. Shout out to 256 people being here. Thank you for being here. Coin is a steal at this prices. I would agree. The problem for why I've not triggered Coin is because I'm still not fully sold on crypto. Like, that's literally the only reason. And like, again, when I want to build out a position, I want it to be like a good, at least $2,000 position. That's a decently sized position for me. And I don't know if I'm ready to give $2,000 to Coin yet. It's also a Cathie stock. And goodness, Cathie has just been so bad for every single stock she's bought. And like, it's not really about her. It's more about how investors see some of the stocks she's picking. Let's go to Zoom and see how they're doing. Zoom, $66.85, up a little bit right now. Roku up at $42.70. I actually want to share a tweet by Cathie that I think is going to be interesting for a lot of people that don't know about some of the stocks that she owns, and give a different perspective on one of the funds that might be doing better in ARK ETF. Vincent, hello. Thank you for being here. Looking good without the beard. A lot of you guys have been saying that, but the beard is coming back. Like, the beard is coming back. I hope you guys know the beard is not going away. It's coming back. But here we go. Let's go to this tweet. All right. Last month, BBC reported that Gosh, a research hospital in the UK, base edited the genome of a 12-year-old girl, Alyssa, suffering from leukemia. She had failed dozens of therapies and had no more options. 7 months later, she is cancer-free. Not many investors know about it. The bear market last year suffocated this news, even though it made a splash at ASH, the American Society of Hematology conference. While one cure does not make a trend, few analysts are discounting any possibility that gene editing might cure cancer. In our view, U.S. equity markets today are 180 degrees away from those in the tech and telecom bubble in the late 90s. This is not a new argument by Cathie. She's been saying this for a while. Unlike the case then, the technologies are ready and the costs are low enough for prime time. Investors chased the dream then, now they are running away. And Elon Musk responded, wow, to that tweet. ARKG might be one of those funds that has many genomic companies like Exact Sciences, CRISPR, Beam, Pacific Biosciences, Ginkgo Bioworks, which she bought another 1 million shares. Let me go to my profile and show you guys that. By the way, if you're not following me, Amit is investing. There's me in my closet. Here we go. Huge buys in DNA, 1.16 million shares. She also bought a lot of Coinbase yesterday, but like, look at how much ARKG is buying. I mean, they're just buying a crap ton of stock. And I kind of think this is the fund. If genomic editing goes the way we think it's going with Moore's law, declining costs of genomic sequencing 50% year over year, this might be the fund that saves Cathie over Roku and Zoom, because this stuff is actual tech that like can actually save people's lives. not like make them watch more ads through connected TV. So ARKG might be something to look out for just in terms of how it's pointing out. I am fighting the temptation to move capital from Palantir to Tesla temporarily till more dry powder is available. Hey, man, if you have to do it, you've got to do what you've got to do. At the end of the day, I think this is the time where people should be absolutely tripling down on their conviction. This is not the time to diversify. This is like when stocks get this low, it is logical to say, okay, has my thesis changed? No. Has my conviction gotten deeper? Yes. Has the price gotten low? I know this is a very basic thing I'm saying, but has the price changed, but the company gotten better? Yes. Okay, so let's get like there. I mean, that's how you make a lot of money, right? You don't make a lot of money by going into the S&P right now. You make a lot of money by saying Tesla should be a $600 stock. I'm putting my money at Tesla at 90, and we'll see where it goes, right? But the fundamental question is, will you be right? And that's the risk. That's the fun part about the stock market, because no one knows if they're going to be right or wrong. But if you're right, you make a lot of money. If you're wrong, you lose money, and that's the goal of the stock market. So with Palantir, again, that's kind of been my conviction the way it is. I bought a little bit more Palantir yesterday. No, I bought a little bit more SoFi yesterday, about like 40 shares yesterday of SoFi. Okay, let's get a little bit of Tesla valuation. Let's hear this. Someone saying he should have stayed short into Tesla. Let's see his thoughts on this.
Carter Worth. All right, Carter, love to have you back on for this. And I'm sure this isn't unusual for stocks like this. You try to get in, they're moving against you. What's the play now?
Right. Well, so, this, what comes to mind, there's a great idiom in the English language. It's snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. You're not performing well in a political campaign or a sports season, that somehow you get the victory. What I've done, of course, is the exact opposite. I've reached deep down and snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, which is to say, everything was going great, been short forever. And I thought, let's cover this thing and nibble small long. It's not working. The stock is down, as you say, another 18 or 20% since then. The question is basically, is the oversold circumstance condition in effect? It was a week ago, it is now. And can one get a tradable bounce? That's my hunch. Again, not working. Probably would have been better, or certainly would have been better just to stick with the short. But at this point, it's just so lopsided one way.
Yeah.
Everyone loved this thing, and now everyone hates it. And almost invariably in life, it's right to take the road less traveled. So not popular to be short when it was loved, and now not popular to be long when it's abhorred.
Right, which is usually a good, listen, this is why I love you. You could have been like, you know what, guys, I'm sick today. I'm not available. And yet you're like, sure, I'll come on and talk. I'll talk about what to do here, because these are the things investors grapple with every single day. Aswath Damodaran in last segment, don't know if you caught it, said the problem with Tesla is its exposure to a person and a personality and not a company right now. Now, you're not a fundamental investor, but you could imagine a major catalyst could be something like bringing in more management, adding a PR department. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but what else could be a catalyst, you think, for the stock to move higher?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that circumstance. Think about this, what is a great personality, but remember what happened at Apple. I mean, Steve Jobs, you couldn't have it bigger. He was pushed out. They brought in Jack Scully, who was running Pepsi. and literally, and he goes, I don't know anything about computers. They said, yeah, but you know a lot about business. And the first thing he did, he looked around and he said, I have my first act. I think we need to get rid of Steve Jobs. People are like, what? Sometimes it's the radical thing. I mean, Gerstner came in and IBM, they said, we got to get out of the computer business. They'll be like, what? Get out of the computer business? Meaning, so yes, obviously, would a Musk removal from the cult of the personality, would that be bullish or bearish? I don't really know. But certainly that could be a catalyst.
I like that you say you don't even know if it would be bullish or bearish, though. Kind of be careful what you wish for.
No. Well, here's the best one. That's the greatest question of all time. If Warren Buffett were to die, does the stock go up or down? Some people, I have asked this for 20 years, big institutional clients say, oh, goes down 5 to 10% first print. And other people say, no. It would be like, wait a minute, this thing's going to rally. They'll break this thing up. They'll all these new. So who knows? You can't know.
This is an interesting situation that Tesla is in right now. Let's get back into the markets and let's look at what they're doing. Then I want to talk a little bit about Netflix. Now, the idea that he said about not staying short, I think is also, or he should have stayed short, but now he's not short. I think makes sense. I think it would be really weird to short Tesla at this valuation. 102.79, 102.83. It's like, you kind of don't think shorting it right now makes that much sense when it's already down this below. There are people that are arguing that Tesla should be, what should it be? Around $70, $80. That's some of the numbers that I've seen, which would put it at close to a $200 billion market cap. Now, if we go to Toyota, that is that's let me go to Toyota right here. I had it below. I think that's where Toyota's market cap is actually, which is, you just imagine a company like that being treated like that is not the way it's supposed to be. Toyota, there we go. $186 billion market cap for Toyota. If we go to Ford, a stock that's barely moved in forever, $50 billion market cap. I mean, like Tesla at $300 billion is obviously valued richly compared to those. But if we just think of Tesla as a company that has just a massive data advantage, a proprietary data advantage, and a manufacturing advantage in the context of EVs, it's just, it deserves that premium. To imagine it getting to a $200 billion market cap would be really astonishing. I mean, especially if the market is, let's look at the NASDAQ. If the market does not decline the market's up today while Tesla's down 8%. If the market doesn't change with Tesla, that's just it's telling for this individual equity that's been hit. Sup, bro, Mid, Samarth, what's up? I wonder what the short interest is. GS, Blake, Tesla going below 90. We will see. I mean, Blake, it could go below 90. I don't think it's crazy. It's not like he's saying below 30. It's saying like it could go below 90. And if it goes below 90, it goes below 90. Tesla below 90 would be a dream. Yeah, I agree. Now it hasn't fallen below 100. It stayed strong at 103. I mean, it's there. It's like holding there. So people are buying right now. They're not letting it fall that low. But in the pre-market, obviously everybody was dumping. All right, let's take a look at some content on Netflix. We have one of the biggest deans of valuation speaking on why he thinks Netflix is broken.
We call him the Dean of Valuation. It's great to have you here. Welcome.
I'm glad to be on.
What do you think when you look at, I'll call it FANG, you know what I mean, mega cap tech? Are they buy here?
I think that a year ago, if you looked at them, they were priced so richly, you're saying, well, something's got to happen here. But I think at this point, when you look at the pricing you can get them at, I'd feel pretty comfortable holding them. In fact, I hold 5 of the 6 FANG stocks other than Netflix, because I think at the prices they're trading at now, they're much better bargains than they were a year ago. A year ago, I thought they were pushing for the skies.
Just as a side note, not a side note for those who are bullish on Netflix, why isn't that in your portfolio?
I think that the entertainment business is in for a complete shakeup. It's not just Netflix. You see it with Netflix, you see it with Disney, you see it with Warner. The business is broken and needs to be fixed. And I'm not sure where the fix is going to come from. So until I get a better sense of how that business is going to play out, I think Netflix is off my list.
Wow. Well, let's, like I said, putting all that aside and moving on to what else might be going on in the market, Aswath. So if mega cap tech looks more reasonable to you, are there areas that don't? You know, we talked yesterday about the staples and some of the valuations that we're seeing there. And what about the market as a whole?
I think the market's in a holding pattern right now. Last year, inflation was the big story. It dominated everything. This year, the economy is going to come into play as the other big player. I mean, I think we're all waiting for a recession, but none of the numbers seem to back it up. So I think at this point, the question is, will there be a recession? If there's a recession, how bad will it be? So I have a feeling that this year, the conversation is going to shift, at least partially from inflation. Inflation is going to continue to be on the table, but the economy is going to become a much bigger part of the discussion and how the market's going to behave for the rest of the year.
Right. So in other words, it's hard to even say whether the market's cheap or expensive, because the major question out there is, if we're heading into recession, how bad will it be?
I mean, market timing is always a dicey game, and it's more dicey than ever before. So if anybody claims to tell you which direction the market's going to go this year, they're lying, because I think that you look at the indicators, they're at cross purposes with each other. So at this point, I think the best you can do is buy companies that you believe are good companies and then hold on for dear life, because it's going to be quite a ride this year.
Let me ask you about Tesla. Speaking of holding on for dear life, it's a little bit different animal than the rest of mega cap tech, but it's still trading around 20 times. What do you do with it here?
It's the danger of buying a company that's close so closely tied to a personality that you're no longer buying a company, you're buying a human being. So in a sense, what you're getting here is a bet for or against Elon Musk. And I think that Tesla, needs to find a way to disconnect itself from personality. And that's going to be tough to do because it is a company built in Elon Musk's image. And I think that once a company becomes equated with a person, you run all kinds of risks. And Tesla's investors are facing those risks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a couple things there. Obviously, his argument about Netflix, I think, makes a lot of sense. The entertainment business is broken. I have zero idea why people are buying that stock. I just don't get it. But I guess people are choosing to buy that stock. This is one of those convictions I've had since like literally January of last year. I started talking about why Netflix is a bad business model. And if I had just like bought puts and during that time, I would have made a lot of money off that. But like at least my analysis was on point. And same thing when it comes to Tesla. Shout out to 318 people being here. Tesla is, you're buying a personality. Is like no one can deny, as good as the company is from a growth and fundamental perspective, you're also buying a personality. Like we cannot deny that. And if you're buying a personality and that personality decides to be a personality, for lack of a better word, then you have to deal with that as an investor. And that's pretty much it. Chris said he's sitting with a girl who has crumbs in her on her face. You should ask her if she knows about Palantir and how their software is the modern enterprise for the operating system. That would be modern enterprise, modern operating system for the enterprise. That would be. That's the first question I ask girls on a date now. It's like, do you know? I actually did that, bro. I was on it. It wasn't a date, but I was with a girl at a bar, and it's like, do you know about Palantir? She's like, oh, that like spy company by Peter Thiel. And I was like, all right, I had a good time. It's time to go. It's I've got to get out of here. I told my friend, like, we got to dip. This actually happened. I'm not even like this happened. All right, Apple's mixed reality headset could be announced as soon as this spring. Top analyst says. Analyst believes Apple will delay its launch of mixed reality headset until spring 2023 at the earliest after a combination of mechanical drop testing and software development issues. They said on Twitter that the announcement of mixed reality device would be postponed for the originally anticipated January 2023. Quo has previously scoped. Is it just me or am I not? Is no one excited for this, bro? Like, are people actually excited for this thing? An announcement during WWDC, World Developers Conference, makes sense. I wonder what the stock price would be during WWDC. That's January. Apple right now is at like 130, I think. So if Apple's closer to 180, closer to 3 trillion, this might help. If Apple's not closer to 3 trillion, then this obviously would maybe be a potential catalyst for Apple to get there. Let's actually go to Apple stock price right now. Again, I'm just not excited for the mixed reality, whatever. It's not that interesting. Okay, I told her I'm gonna walk into work feeling like Batman. Disney is the way to go, not Netflix. Bob Iger's back. Disney is not the way to go, bro. Disney is what did I miss? Amid all in white. I just decided to wear white today. Disney, look, the problem with Disney is that you're buying a company that has to figure out how to stop losing billions of dollars a year, even though they have 100 million subscribers, for Disney Plus. Their content mode. Look at Apple. Wow, 125. Apple's $5 away from 120. 128 was support, right? Did it drop under 125 today? Or was that yesterday? Was that yesterday? I didn't even notice. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was. They got to 124 yesterday. I didn't even notice that. Apple 129 was support. They dropped below that. And if they get down, are they below 2 trillion? They're right at, look at the market cap, right at 2 trillion. Right at 2 trillion. So they should, NASDAQ down 0.24% now at 10,280. So Apple's been dropping, NASDAQ been dropping. Tesla staying up strong at 104, holding the line at 5.18% negative on the day. ARK down 2%. NEO, wow, why is NEO down 12%? Goodness. There's just random things happening. Meanwhile, the S&P doing fine, up 0.6% and holding in there. Wow. Disney rehired Bob Iger. That dude started their tailspin. Look, the problem with Bob Iger is that he's not going to be able to turn around what I think is a structural problem in a lot of these content businesses, which is the inability for them to come up with a lot of interesting content at once. And so that's the basic issue. Amit should grow a French mustache with the scarf. That would actually be really interesting, Blake. I think that would be interesting. All right, that's it for me. I'm out today, everybody. Hope everyone had a great day. I will be releasing a video today on my startup results. So the results of my startup from August to December, that'll probably be coming out in an hour. Hope you guys enjoy that. Last day to invest is January 13th. You can check out the link in the description. Email me, Twitter me if you have any questions, if you want to hop on a Zoom. A couple of you guys invested from yesterday, which was awesome. I put out a Twitter thread about it as well. So I'll be doing a full video today. You can check it out. Even if you're not interested in investing, you can just check out what we've done. I appreciate all the support from people who have cared about the startup over the past couple months. It means the absolute world to me. And that's pretty much it. Hope everyone has a great day. I will not be doing podcast today. Chris, I don't even think I texted you about this. I can't do SoFi Weekly or Palantir Weekly because I have a work-related thing, and I'm going to be gone until like 11 p.m. tonight. So no podcast tonight, potentially tomorrow night. But we'll be back up and running for the market open on Monday. So that's it. Thank you guys, everybody. I appreciate it. Where's the fedora? That's what we got to do. We got to get a fedora as well, right? Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you've had a great first week to starting the new year. Even if it wasn't amazing, it's just 1 week. 51 more weeks left. Got a lot of time left to do what we got to do, and we'll keep going. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on Monday.